I know there are people who do not quite agree with the division of India and the partition of the Punjab and Bengal. Much had been said against it. But now that it has been accepted, it is the duty of every one of us to loyally abide by it and honorably act according to the agreement which is now final and binding on all. But you must remember, as I have said, that this mighty revolution that has taken place is unprecedented. One can quite understand the feeling that exists between the two communities wherever one community is in majority and the other is in minority. But the question is whether it was possible or practicable to act otherwise than what has been done. A division had to take place. On both sides, in Hindustan and Pakistan, there are sections of people who may not agree with it, who may not like it, but in my judgment, there was no other solution, and I am sure future history will record its verdict in favor of it. And what is more, it be proved by actual experience as we go on. That was the only solution of India's constitutional problem. Any idea of a united India could never have worked, and in my judgment, it would have led us to terrific disaster. Maybe that view is correct, maybe not. That remains to be seen. All the same, in this division, it was impossible to avoid the question of minorities being in one dominion or the other. Now that was unavoidable. There is no other solution. Now what shall we do? Now, if we want to make this great state of Pakistan happy and prosperous, we should wholly and solely concentrate on the well-being of the people, and especially of the masses and the poor. If you will work in cooperation, forgetting the past, burying the hatchet, you are bound to succeed. If you change your past and work together in a spirit that every one of you, no matter to what community he belongs, no matter what relations he had with you in the past, no matter what is his color, caste, or creed, is first, second, and last a citizen of this state with equal rights, privileges, and obligations, there will be no end to the progress you will make. I cannot emphasize it too much. We should begin to work in that spirit, and in course of time, all angularities of the majority and minority communities, the Hindu community and Muslim community, because even as regards Muslims, you have Pathans, Punjabis, Shias, Sunnis, and so on, and among the Hindus, you have Brahmins, Vaishnavas, Khatris, also Bengalis, Madrasis, and so on will vanish. Indeed, if you ask me, this has been the biggest hindrance in the way of India to attain freedom and independence. And but for this, we would have been free peoples long ago. No power can hold another nation, and especially a nation 400 million souls in subjection. Nobody could have conquered you, and even if had happened, nobody could have continued its hold on you for any length of time, but for this. Therefore, we must learn from this. You are free. You are free to go to your temples. You are free to go to your mosques, or to any other place of worship in this state of Pakistan. You may belong to any religion or caste or creed. That has nothing to do with the business of the state. As you know, history shows that in England conditions, some time ago, were much worse than those prevailing in India today. The Roman Catholics and the Protestants persecuted each other. Even now, there are some states in existence where there are discriminations made and bars imposed against a particular class. Thank God we are not starting in those days. We are starting in the days when there is no discrimination, no distinction between one community and another, no discrimination between one caste or creed and another. We are starting with this fundamental principle that we are all citizens and equal citizens of one state. The people of England in course of time had to face the realities of the situation and had to discharge the responsibilities and burden placed upon them by the government of their country, and they went through that fire step by step. Today, you might say with justice that Roman Catholics and Protestants do not exist. What exists now is that every man is a citizen and an equal citizen of Great Britain, and they are all members of the nation. Now, I think we should keep that in front of us as our ideal, and you will find that in course of time, Hindus would cease to be Hindus and Muslims would cease to Muslims, not in religious sense, because that is the personal faith of each individual, but in the political sense as citizens of the state. Well, gentlemen, I do not wish to take up any more of your time, and thank you again for the honor you have done to me. I shall always be guided by the principles of justice and fair play without any, as is put in political language, prejudice or ill will, in other words, partiality or favoritism. My guiding principle will be justice and complete impartiality, and I am sure that with your support and cooperation, I can look forward to Pakistan becoming one of the greatest nations of the world.